Welcome to the Abundance Journey, the show that helps spiritual entrepreneurs create an abundance mindset that accelerates revenue. Secretly, everything you experience in your life is actually abundance. Once you understand how to activate abundance, you find yourself in flow with your business and clients, so it's easy to create the revenue you want. The Abundance Journey is the only show that activates abundance for you, so you enjoy rapid results in your business. Here's your host, the Abundance Ambassador, Elaine Starling.
Did you know that you are receiving divine guidance all the time? All the time. It doesn't matter if you're in the middle of a meditation. It doesn't matter if you're brushing your teeth or if you're having a conversation with someone, even in the middle of an argument. Every single thing that you're experiencing is actually divine guidance. Yeah, we're going to be talking about that today. So the challenge that I think a lot of us have, I've been guilty of this myself, is sometimes we make the mistake of waiting for the mirror to smile first. We want our circumstances to change. We want more abundance to show up in our lives before we can feel it, before we really experience it. But that's backwards. We experience it first, and then we create it in the physical world. So you're truly guided in every single moment because you are in partnership with the divine. The way it was explained to me, absolutely everything is love. Everything. It doesn't matter what you're talking about. Everything is love. So how do you expand the divine if everything is already love? You create human beings who don't necessarily think that everything is love. And through that contrast, we have the opportunity to lean forward and be love in the moment anyway, and watch how everything starts to shift. That is actually the cutting edge of the divine. Humanity is the cutting edge of the divine because we don't always experience things as love. But when we're willing to step in and be love in the moment, everything starts to shift. So let's go ahead and do our intention before we get started, because I want to make sure that this is a really powerful experience for you. Now, an intention is what we want to create and how we want to feel as we create it. I don't really have a script. I have some bullet points and things that I want to share with you, but otherwise, I just open up and let the divine flow through me. When I state an intention, that's how I start that partnership with the divine. It's kind of like typing into a spiritual GPS. And I've got a very specific way that I structure my intentions. I always start with in love and light, because to me, that's acknowledging that the God of your understanding is an active participant here with us, co-creating with us. So it's kind of like a, hey, so glad you could join us today kind of thing. Then I state the intention, and that's like where we want to go through this collaborative conversation, because we are connecting our energy together as we hold this intention. Our energy is connected, and our energy with the divine is connected. And through that enhanced experience, we get to have this result. We are creating this abundance together. At the end of the intention, I always give thanks. And then I say, it is done, because I'm done typing. I've done the hard part. Now I get to sit in complete silence for 78 seconds to hold that vibration of that intention. It's a really important thing to do because human beings currently have a shorter attention span than a goldfish. We are so used to being bombarded with interruptions and distractions and things that require our attention that we aren't really focused on what we want. We're going to use 78 seconds to hone in on the vibration of what is wanted, the intention. And two things I find really help me enjoy those 78 seconds of silence. The first one is I'll pick 2 or 3 words out of the intention that just feel high vibration to me. They feel expansive. They feel uplifting. This is exactly the sensation I want in my body, that I want the divine to help me create. So I choose those 2 or 3 words and just repeat them over and over again in my mind and encourage my body to experience that sensation now. before we're done with the intention, before we've had this conversation. I can experience it right now. And the more I bring that up into my body, into my awareness, the easier it is for the divine to lock in on that vibration and help make that happen even more, much more than I could ever imagine. How cool is that? Is there something better, right? The divine knows so much better. The second thing that I do, your body is like a great big antenna. And what we're doing with our intention is we're asking the divine to help shift the energy towards a specific kind of experience, which is what we want to feel and how we want to create together. So just noticing movement going on in the body, noticing if you get chills or goosebumps, or you feel like your body's starting to dissolve and expand, or you feel a ripple of heat going through your body, anything at all like that is just a sign that the energy is already starting to move. So it's a really good sign. So just tune in to 2 or 3 words and what's going on in your body, because that is a sign that magic is happening and you're creating the magic. You don't realize, but this is your magic wand. And so remember, you've got to have a spell. The spell is your intention. So let's start playing together right now. In love and light, we hold the intention that we automatically and continuously feel love flowing through us and expressing as us in every thought, word, and deed. So we partner with the divine to manifest our dreams. Thank you, divine. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It is done. We give thanks, and so it is. Wow, there was a lot of energy around that. I really felt you tapping in and tuning in to that sensation. You know, I was focusing on the words about feeling love, embodying that it is expressing through us in every thought, word, and deed. And I love that sensation that love is animating us. Love is empowering us to experience everything that we want in our lives. And I'm going to show you exactly how that unfolds. But what we're talking about today is how to receive divine guidance. And it's really funny because you're getting divine guidance all the time. All the time. It doesn't often feel like divine guidance. What it feels like is contrast. Sometimes we even call it conflict. It's the difference between what is wanted and what is not wanted. That stress zone is actually guidance. Yeah. Now, every single time we experience contrast, all that is the divine tapping us on the shoulder, trying to get our awareness to open up. Because, you know, when you're busy and you've got stuff going on, you're just going through your day, you're doing the stuff you got to do, and you're not really paying that much attention. You know, it's only when the stuff hits the fan that all of a sudden you're like, whoa, what's happening here? I got to pay attention. You are using 2 important things to create this guidance. You're using your human self and you're using your higher self. Those two are somewhat opposed. And because they're somewhat opposed, they create that contrast. That higher self is the divine flowing through you, functioning as you. Now, I learned recently the difference between my human self and my higher self and what that feels like. So I want to share that with you before we go into more detail. My human self snaps to judgment, and there's a lot of emotion around it. Usually it sounds like I'm right and you're wrong, and the more I convince you you're wrong, the more right I am. Sadly, it doesn't actually work that way, but my human self is convinced that that's the way it goes. And it's very reactive. It's not well thought out. It's just immediate, I need to prove I'm right kind of thing. That's my human self. Judgmental, emotional, reactive, human self. My higher self, the same things are happening. The exact same situation is going on. Instead of getting into judgment, my higher self is just observing. This is just what's happening. If someone is being annoying, that's okay. They're just having their own experience. You know, I'll use a made-up name, Diane. Diane is just Dianing. She's just doing her thing. And the only purpose behind her doing her thing is so it will get my attention and spark my awareness. That's why I'm feeling the contrast, because my awareness is needed and the divine is tapping me on the shoulder. Sweetie, are you home? Are you available? We need you right now. That's what's going on here. So my higher self is just observing what's happening and then responding instead of reacting, responding with supportive love and grateful compassion. That's the difference between my human self and my higher self. So it's really important that we acknowledge those two facets of our being, because they are what creates that contrast. So we receive divine guidance at all times. Contrast is just there to give us that awareness, the difference between what is wanted and what is not wanted. Now, the challenge is there's two different extremes to awareness. On the one side is that judgment thing that we talked about, right? And the challenge with judgment, when we are in judgment, we're making it all about me. It's all about you. And that's not really what's involved here, because you're in partnership with the divine. So it's kind of like saying, no, it's not about making toast. It's just about the toaster. It's all about the toaster. No, it's about putting bread in the toaster and having the experience of the bread being toasted, and then you have nice, crispy, crunchy, yummy toast on the other end. It's a process. You use the toaster, you use the human being as a vehicle to create the outcome that is wanted, but it's not about the toaster. It's not about the mirror. It's about the smile before the mirror. It's about the higher self showing up because of this awareness that something happened that got our attention. Oh, the divine needs my help right now. Now, judgment is always, that's just not right. That's not fair. It's inappropriate. It can be trauma. It can be struggle. It can be frustration, an unfair situation. Whatever's going on, it creates unsupportive emotions. And those unsupportive emotions often make you feel like a victim or a victor if you temporarily won, or even a villain. Like you played the bad guy because you're a parent and you had to be tough with the kids, and it makes you feel like a villain. Even though you know that what you're doing is protecting them, and that's your intent, is because you truly love them. You're trying to protect them, but they see you as a villain in the piece. And that's kind of uncomfortable, right? That's not what's really going on. But when we're trapped in judgment, that's what it feels like. Judgment immediately takes away your power because it isn't really about you. It's always through you. The problem with judgment is it makes you feel as though the outside world, other people's opinions, other people's comments are more important than what's happening inside you. And we know that you are an incredibly powerful force in the universe. You are a co-creator a partner with the divine, and you can create your intention. So it really makes a difference how you choose to show up and how you choose to respond to the situations that are coming up in your life. And one of the best examples out there is Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. Viktor Frankl was in a Nazi concentration camp. He experienced and witnessed horrific abuse, just beyond imagining. And yet, because of his experience, he chose to recognize that he had total control over his inner world, and no one could impact that or take that away from him. He had complete inner power. Now, there are two different sides to your human self that's always busy knocking on the door when judgment is in play. Those two parts of you are your inner child, and there's always something that happened before the age of 6 that created some inner judgment. And so your inner child immediately comes up and goes, hey, Houston, we got a problem. And the other part of you is that human self part of you. And we're going to talk about the different things that your inner child needs and your human self needs. Your inner child is looking for feeling loved. They want to feel safe. They want to feel really important, like you're going to pay attention to them. You're going to make them a priority. And they want to feel connected to something bigger than just this little inner baby that they are. They also want to feel seen and heard. Now, you are the only person who can deliver all of that for your own inner child. So when you're experiencing judgment, it's a great idea to go, wait a minute, okay, my inner child is craving some reassurance right now. That's why I'm feeling so judgmental about this situation. So what could I do to support? How can I bring love to this situation for my inner child? Now, we also express our human selves in the physical world, in our relationships, and there are 6 human needs that we all have. The first one is we need certainty. We want to feel a sense of control. We want to know what's happening. We want to have some guarantee. The second thing we need is variety. Same stuff, different day, gets really boring really fast. So while we want some certainty, we also want some variety. And we want to feel significant. We want to feel important, valued. We also want to feel loved and connected. The 5th thing we want is to feel a sense of growth. And the 6th thing is contribution. Like what you're doing, just you being you, showing up the way you are, is making a difference in the world. And it does. It really does. Because you're in partnership with the divine. It's happening through you. So yes, you being you makes a massive difference. And again, it really helps when you focus on how you are growing and how you are contributing. Because we are all on a journey of mastery. What are we mastering? We are mastering our ability to show up as love no matter what is happening in the moment. We are mastering the ability to show up as our higher selves, where we're objective, and then we respond with supportive love and grateful compassion. That is the sweet spot. That's what we aspire to. But we're kind of like weebles. We wobble, but we don't fall down. Love is that inner constant, that weight that helps keep us centered and balanced and able to weather anything that happens in the world, no matter what is going on. It's one of the reasons why I feel that gratitude is such an important, powerful, creative space to come from. Gratitude is the acorn of your abundance tree. It's the acorn of everything that you want. You have to feel grateful before you can feel a sense of connection that allows you to feel love with another person. It starts with gratitude. So that's why it really helps when you can get into that grateful space for anything that's happening in your world right now, no matter how distant it might be from what you want. I would love to have a New York Times bestseller, but I just published my book on my own and it's going nowhere. Okay, what can I be grateful for? I wrote a book. I actually captured a lot of these thoughts and these ideas. Yay! I published the book. Woohoo! I've got some reviews for the book. Outstanding. I'm talking to more people about the book. So more people find out about it, read it, and it transforms their lives and it creates this ripple effect. Woohoo! I can focus on what is working. I can get grateful for all the things that are going well before the ultimate thing that I would like to have happen actually comes to fruition. So I want to get back to Dr. Viktor Frankl, because if he hadn't had the experience he had, he would never have written the book, Man's Search for Meaning. The personal growth movement that we are blessed to enjoy would never have taken off. And we would be completely ignorant of just how much power we have when we focus on our inner world and we pay attention to how we feel and how we choose to show up. Now, I invite you to welcome every single experience you have as an opportunity for three things. The first thing, it gives you the opportunity to be love right now. Be the love that is needed here right now. That's number one. That's definitely when you're coming from your higher self, because it's a superpower that allows you to manifest abundance in all forms when you are willing to show up as the love that is needed here right now for yourself and for others. The second thing you want to do is notice the love that is already present for you in this moment. It's usually around growth and contribution. What a surprise. Yeah, those human needs that we all share, especially when we focus on growth and contribution, we get all the rest of it too. And when we focus on growth and contribution, our inner child feels more served and more recognized and more valued. So you have an incredible power when you notice the love that is already present for you right now. Again, we are developing mastery. We are either being love in this moment, or we're getting a little reminder that we have an opportunity to be love in the moment when we forget. And sometimes we do. That's part of the growth process. Remember, we're growing or we're contributing. The third thing is co-create more love. And I love to do that by expressing gratitude for what is already working in this moment, the opportunities that are present, the abundance that I'm witnessing, the skills that are being demonstrated. There are so many things that are working right now. And if you're completely myopic on that New York Times bestseller and that hasn't shown up for you yet, so you're going to disregard all the other blessings, well, you're pushing what you want further away from you. You get to acknowledge what is working right now. So start with gratitude and then celebrate in advance all the wonderful things that can happen when you choose to show up from that space of love. Now, I really like to use the 5 steps to activate abundance because I find that it delivers on all 3 of those. It is how you are being love in the moment, how you notice love that is present, how you co-create love with others. It's really incredibly powerful because it also, 5 steps to activate abundance, also satisfies the needs of your inner child and the 6 needs of the human self. So yeah, it's a really powerful thing. Now, one more example that I want to give you. There's a great thing called the 7-day mental diet. It actually came out in the 1930s, and it's a challenge. It's a challenge for each of us to go through our day and disregard all the negative things that are happening in the world. And there's a lot of them. I mean, if you turn on the news, if you check the latest stories on the internet, you will be bombarded by all the things that are not working right now from somebody's perspective. It's really easy to point that stuff out. Well, I had this epiphany when I was doing the 7-day mental diet. It's, again, these are the things that are knocking us off base and trying to grab our attention on all the things that are not working. I realized that whenever I notice something, a natural disaster, a war, some horrific traffic accident, anything that to me is a negative, all that's happening is the divine is tapping me on the shoulder, getting my awareness. Remember, it's about the awareness and then how I respond to that awareness. So what I like to do, this is really, really powerful, and I invite you to do this all the time. Step one, send love and blessings to every single person who is impacted or involved in that experience. Send love and blessings. I know you're an individual person and you may not think that you have all that power. Trust me, you are in partnership with the divine. You're the traffic cop going, okay, divine, please send some energy over here. These people are having a difficult time. I am going to envision them as whole, as well, as thriving, as receiving exactly the resources, tools, and support that they need. And you, divine, are going to make that happen. I'm sending love and blessings out to these people, every single person involved in that experience or impacted by it, meaning they witnessed it and maybe they didn't choose to do anything about it. Maybe they made the mistake of thinking, pretending that these people are victims or victors or villains, right? We love a good story. So we create all these characters. And in reality, they are whole and perfect spiritual beings having an experience that will expand them and their ability to contribute to the expansion of the divine. That's what's really going on here. So my job, step one, is to send love and blessings. And, it really reminds me of that practice of no matter what's happening in your life to say, thank you, God. How can it get even better than this? That is a powerful way to acknowledge that there are many blessings already happening in various areas of your life. And you're ready for even more. Remember, it starts with gratitude. Super important. So step one, send love and blessings. Step two, focus on what is wanted. What is wanted, certainly from the divine perspective, is love. Love is such a high vibration energy that it creates abundance. That's why I'm so focused on people starting with gratitude, feeling that connection, feeling that love. And that really is allowing you to receive so much more. You want to get in that space of what is wanted, the love that is wanted, with deep gratitude for its perfect unfolding. It's like you're reading a book. And maybe you are the kind of person who likes to go to the very end and see who done it. I don't. I like to have the story unfold in perfect timing. I don't want to know all of the little gotchas and the little, cliffhangers and things. That'll keep me excited and engaged as I go through the book. But what I want to do is stay in gratitude and focus on all the things that are working, all the strengths that are showing up, all the skills that are being applied. Now, the third step here is to open your peripheral vision. Remember, we were talking about the New York Times bestseller and just having a very myopic focus on that. But when we open up our vision, we have the opportunity to see so many more opportunities and potentialities and connections that we normally wouldn't notice. So there's a huge opportunity to take whatever is happening in your experience, in your awareness, and deliberately interpret it as love. No matter what. Something negative is happening in the world, great. The divine wants my attention and support. I'm all in. Something is happening that is a blessing for me, but it's maybe not exactly the blessing I wanted. Great. It's part of the perfect unfolding. This or something better than I could ever have imagined on my own. This is how you receive divine guidance. It is not a direct line, start here, stop there. No, you have a vision of what you want to experience in your life. And then you get the blessing of contrast. And it usually doesn't feel like a blessing when you receive it, yet it is, because it is always divine guidance supporting you and empowering you to experience abundance and blessings beyond your imagination. beyond what you thought was possible. You deserve this. You are so perfect exactly as you are. And we are blessed to have you here. Stick around. We're going to activate abundance in just a minute. Hi, it's Elaine Starling, the Abundance Ambassador. And I know since you're listening to this show or watching this show, The Abundance Journey, you really want to experience more abundance in your life. Well, that's why I wrote the book, 5 Steps to Activate Your Abundance. It's available for sale right now from Amazon, from barnesandnoble.com, and many international sellers. And I want you to pick up a copy because I'm really opening the kimono here and sharing all of the information you need to experience abundance in every single aspect of your life. The book's divided into 3 parts. Part 1 is called Meeting the Divine. This is where I share my near-death experience and the conversation I got to have with our higher power during my stroke. In Part 2, Messages from the Divine, I share the best practices that I was given, the secret sauce in how life actually works. And so you understand really why you're here and how you can make the most of your life so you love every single moment. And then in the Part 3 is Partnering with the Divine. That's where I go into each of the 5 steps to activate your abundance and explain exactly why it works so well. So take a moment to pick up a copy. It's available as an ebook, a paperback book, an audiobook, and a video course. So however you like to absorb information, abundance is waiting for you. All right, we're going to activate abundance together. This is my favorite part because this is where the magic happens. This is where we take concepts and ideas that we shared, and we can turn all of that into tangible physical experience. Now, when we talk about tangible, a lot of people think, oh, well, it's got to be a physical object. It's got to be glasses that I can hold in my hand. And if I can't prove that I'm holding glasses, then it doesn't really exist. That's not true. Because in reality, you create internally in terms of how you feel and how excited you are by what's coming. That energy goes out into the divine and directs the divine to help create this or something better. So that tangible thing is an inner sensation, an inner knowing. So step 1 is gratitude. It always starts with gratitude. And I'm so happy that you're here with me today, that you were inspired to listen to this episode or watch this episode, because you are so much more powerful than you realize. And understanding how you are guided by the divine takes a lot of the discomfort out of it. Frankly, I really like that part. It becomes a fun game, okay? So step 1 is gratitude. Step 2 is acknowledge something you heard that was a little bit of an aha for you. Now, for me, it really helps to reconnect with that vision of, am I making this about me? In which case I'm in judgment. If it's about me, then I'm in judgment. Or, it's because somebody else is ticking me off. That's about me too. They're not doing anything out of line. They're just being them. I'm the one interpreting it as something that's wrong. And that's why I'm making it about me, right? There's that, am I making it about me, or is it through me? Because I'm willing to show up as that supportive love and grateful compassion. When I'm willing to show up in that manner, magic happens for me and for everybody I'm with. And it ripples out much more than you can imagine. So that's what I want to acknowledge, the difference between to me and through me. Step 3 is to appreciate the difference it can make in your life. Well, I really want to come from my higher self as much as I possibly can. And I want to really be tuned in to divine guidance because I want to be in lockstep with the divine. I really want to make it super easy for the divine to flow through me. So understanding the difference between to me and through me helps me know When my body is clenching and I'm feeling resistance, oh, I'm in judgment. Aha, that's what's happening here. I have a choice. I can shift over, and instead I can come from my higher self and get into a space of supportive love and grateful compassion, just observing what's happening without any judgment or emotion involved. I can do that. It's a choice that I make. No matter how much somebody or some situation is irritating me, I have that power. I have that choice. Okay. So step 4 is to activate abundance. We've got 3 different ways we can do that. Grab a calendar, schedule time to get it done. For example, journaling comes under this category. And journaling is a really powerful tool that can help you see where you're being in judgment and help you work through the judgment you have so that you can shift out of judgment back into supportive love and grateful compassion. How do you do that? Be the love that is needed here now. Send love and blessings to everyone involved and impacted. That easy. It doesn't take a lot of time. It's that easy. So the first option is to schedule some time on your calendar. The second option, create a physical trigger like crossing your fingers or tugging on your earlobe to remind you, how am I being in this moment? Am I aware that this is divine guidance? Oh, this is what divine guidance looks like, feels like, sounds like, tastes like. Oh, okay. And every single time I get divine guidance, what am I guided to do? I'm guided to be love in the moment and to send love and blessings to everyone involved and impacted. Oh, right. Light bulb moment. Okay. So yes, I can choose to have a physical trigger as a reminder. Since I'm trying to do this as often as I breathe, that's not what I'm going to do, because that would be like for special situations when I want to go into a meeting and remember to show up as love. So maybe if you've got like a difficult person you need to work with, great. A physical trigger would be a good reminder for you. Show up as love at this time, no matter what is going on in the room. Interpret everything as an opportunity to demonstrate your mastery by showing up as that supportive love and grateful compassion. The outcome you want will show up faster than if you were a nitpicky, insisting upon having things your way and very judgmental. Believe it or not, the divine has your back. Okay, the third way that we can activate abundance is by declaring what we're going to do. It helps if you've got an accountability buddy, because they can really see where you're honoring what you said you were going to do and when you might be slipping a little bit, and they can help you get back on track. So for me, because I truly want to be this love in every single moment, I am declaring to you, and I will be journaling to really look at, when am I showing up as my higher self, and when are there opportunities that I can be more supportive love and I can be more grateful compassion. That's a choice, and I have to make that choice and then stick with it. That's the key. Step 5, celebrate your progress. Isn't this cool? I mean, honestly, it takes every single challenging situation that you ever experience and shifts it from being like a judgment against you or a punishment into all of a sudden being a divine blessing. Because all it is divine guidance, and they are always guiding you to be love right now and send love to everyone involved or impacted. You got this. It's easier than you think it is, because the more you start to do this, the more fun it really is. And people are going to go, how do you do it? Why are all these things happening for you? How come stuff is just unfolding for you like that? What are you doing? What did you put in your coffee? It's not that. It's who you are being. It's how you are showing up. It's because you are welcoming in divine guidance at all times and allowing the divine to flow through you as you. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'll see you next time for the Abundance Journey.
You've been listening to The Abundance Journey Show with Elaine Starling. Visit theabundancejourney.com/podcast gifts to access today's gift, as well as gifts from our other guests. Tune in every week to activate abundance in your life and business. If something resonated with you, please share it with your friends so they can benefit too. Keep activating abundance, and we'll see you in the next episode.